Clark Kent has always felt split between his human life and his origins on Krypton, and the same goes for the character moving forward in James Gunn's DC universe. The Superman legacy story is rumored to revolve around a conflict in the Middle East, which will feature the fictional country of Belia, often mentioned in the DC universe. Lex Luthor is confirmed to return and will likely be involved in this conflict, but he isn't expected to be one of the main villains. I believe that's going to be Brainiac. But for this movie to work, Superman's main conflict has to be within himself and his dual personalities. On one side of the coin, he is a journalist trying to get the scoop, and on the other side of things, he is a superhero who must protect the world from the many threats it faces. Which is a common common trope that we see in many Superman stories and comics, animation, and definitely the TV shows, but especially with Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and Lois. I mean, that show deals with the inner conflict of being a Kryptonian, being married and raising his kids, who one of which is a fucking emo bitch who has superpowers. That kid's annoying. I'm sorry, shout out to the actor, he does an amazing job, but that kid is annoying. James Gunn is the ideal director to explore this particular conflict after being at the helm of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, which saw Peter Quill battle with his alter ego Star-Lord, balancing the human side of his character with his intergalactic superhero persona. Star-Lord doesn't have superpowers like Superman, but the alter ego element is still relevant, as Gunn will have to deal with this in his upcoming movie. Superman Legacy is not going to be an origin story, but it will focus on a much younger Superman who is trying to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with the human family he has in Smallville, Kansas. And I think that's going to be the more compelling aspect of Superman, because what is it like to be a god among men who you can never get hurt, you're virtually invulnerable, and most likely you're going to live for the next 500 years and more? How do you deal with that? How do you deal with being sort of the savior of the planet Earth, and also having this human life as Clark Kent, his alter ego who's in love with Lois Lane, and dealing with his job, his family, and stuff like that? And Man of Steel, it dealt with that, but it mostly dealt with the isolation, and we really didn't get to see him interacting with many other human beings, such as Jimmy Olsen or Lois Lane or Perry White. It was just basically, I'm here, I'm alone, I'm sad for 2 hours, oh shit, Zod is here, and we're gonna fuck up Metropolis. Which is fine for what it was, but I really didn't get to see the Clark Kent aspect. All I saw was, Kal-El roaming around the Earth and feeling isolated, which is fine for an aspect of the story, but that can't be the main story, because again, if you're going to do that, then your story has to be very, very compelling. And of course, I love Man of Steel. I think it's one of Zack Snyder's best movies in his entire career. But again, we saw from the negative reactions from both general audience, critics, and DC fans, themselves, it was split down the middle. So it really didn't capture the essence of who Superman is. I think James Gunn understands that both personalities of Clark Kent, Superman, and Kal-El are very important to the aspect of Superman. So I think James Gunn is really going to capture the essence of who Superman is from the comic books, from the animation, TV shows, and do it in a much more lighter way, and not so heavy and dour like a Man of Steel or BVS did when they portrayed Clark Kent as Superman. So that's going to be it. Hit like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, TikTok, and Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? I do think at the end of the day, I think Brainiac is going to show up in the movie. Whether he's going to be the main villain or not, that remains to be seen. But I do think he's going to play a crucial role in the movie. Maybe like a post-credit tease. The nipples just got hard. Love you all. Stay safe. Truth out.
I'm coming.